Hey y'all, welcome back to Sparkle and Trade. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're here to spread joy and support in the trading community. That's what we're all about. And today we're going to be talking to you guys about my favorite trading strategy. I promised you that I would do a video on my favorite trading strategy, and try to say that 3 times. I recorded quite a few videos, and I told you guys about my max loss, about can you actually make $1,000 in a day. In my initial Invest with Teri review, I talked about, her course. And I think in almost all those videos, I talked about vertical credit spreads. That's what I trade now. That's my favorite trading strategy. I rarely trade anything else. Now, there are some other strategies that you can use, but vertical credit spreads, for the most part, has been my go-to thing to do. I love it. I love what it is. So let me tell you what it is. If you don't know anything about options, you don't know anything about trading stocks, and you don't know anything about vertical credit spreads, what I'm about to tell you is going to sound Chinese. I mean, unless you speak Chinese, but I seriously did, when I first was introduced to options and vertical credit spreads, and I was just like, what is this? What is this talking about? So this is a part of Teri's VIP program. So when you upgrade or if you purchase her Invest with Teri program, the VIP program will teach you all about options, she teaches you so many things, but one of them is options. And vertical credit spreads is something that you learn as you get involved, and it's a highly advanced strategy. I would not suggest it for a newbie starting out. I would suggest, learning trading, make your first trade, and then start understanding the stock market. Eventually, get involved with some more advanced strategies. I dived head first. I made my $1,000 in a day in my simulated account and my live account. And so my next goal is to make $5,000 in a day and $10,000 in a day. So once I hit $10,000 in a day, y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. Like, I'll be like, yeah, stop that. I'm doing well. Like, that's my next goal right now, is to hit that $10,000 in a day mark. So anyway, using vertical credit spreads, you can get there. Now, as with any trading strategy, you're going to run risk. Options are just risky, period. But if you use the Invest with Teri method with your trading strategy, whatever trading strategy that is, you're going to do well. Okay. So the ones that I like the most is y'all know I talk about SPS. Like, me and SPS have we feel some type of way. At least I feel some type of way about SPS. I don't know. I don't think they know me, but I know that. Okay. I feel some type of way, as I always told you guys, but my favorite trading strategy, hands down, is 0DTE SPX trading vertical credit spreads. That is either trading selling puts or selling calls. I can do one or the other. In both of those situations, you are paid to trade. What that means is, when you place your trade, you are placing a credit trade, meaning there is an amount that goes into your account based upon how many contracts that you purchase. So I like, so if I think, it depends on which way you think the stock market is gonna go, or your particular ticker symbol is gonna go. That's what you determine if you're gonna sell a put or sell a put or sell a call. Whichever way you sell, you're going to get a credit, right? If you sell a put or sell a call, you're going to get a credit. And it depends on which way you think the market's going to go. So you have to know which way the market's going to go through your technical analysis, which Teri teaches you. You have to know, what else do you have to know? You got to hit the right strike price. And that's the reason why it's my favorite trading strategy. Now, I like the idea of somebody paying me and then the market going in the direction that I think it's going to go in. That sounds great to me. And I love that. And when I when I first started, that's what I was doing. That's how I built up my account, is selling puts and selling calls. Most of the time I sold puts, but selling puts and selling calls. That's how I built up that account slowly. It's a more, I feel like it's a slower way to go, just because you are only allowed to get a certain amount of credit depending on the certain amount in your account. So if you want like super fast growth, buy calls or buy puts. So those that I find that you make more money when you sell a call. When you buy a call or buy a put. Oh, the words are always getting mixed up. That's the confusing part about options. What in the world? So like I said, if this mix sounds Chinese to you, yeah, you might want to start back at the beginning. Go get the course, training, come back, okay? Because I'm gonna be helping you walk through the journey after the journey after you get started, okay? So these are people, I'm talking to people right now that are already trading or already investing or already starting to go in that direction. So like I said, my favorite trading strategy is vertical credit spreads, particularly 0DTE, SPX, favorite ticker symbol, or Netflix. And the difference between the two, honestly, guys, when you trade a equities index like XPX, it's a cash account, so they'll never be able to, like, what they call the word, I think it's called assimilate or assume, I'm not sure, but the word, it basically means the price of the stock gets so close to your strike price that they automatically make you purchase those stock. And as you know, options are like hundreds of stocks, so that's a lot of money. So I prefer to stick with the equities indexes, but it's not required, because you just have to know your numbers and you have to do your technical analysis. And I wouldn't be where I'm at if I only stuck with indexes. So I love Netflix. I watch Netflix very closely. I don't watch Tesla. So I entered that Tesla trade in my sim account because I don't really follow Tesla too closely. And Tesla has been known to do weird things, and it did a weird thing. I'm so glad I did not enter that trade in my live account, because it did not do what I thought it was going to do. Now, I believe it's going to end in a good spot by Friday, by the expiration date. So if you got into that stock, I think you should, my opinion is you should stay in there. I think you still will come out with profit. But I particularly I've been watching the Tesla stock, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even watch Tesla. There's a lot of things I don't watch. I mean, there's thousands of ticker symbols out there. So you got to make sure that you know your stock. You have to like date your stock. Like, okay, you did this at this time, you did this at this time. Earnings season, what happens after earnings season? What is the pattern of earnings? Like, there's a certain things that you have to watch for when you are determining what is want to be on my watch list. Tesla is not on my watch list, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of how to get back into that stock. But I think it's pretty much ran its course, and it might be on its way down. And that's why I said stay in it if you're in it, because I think that, well, I'm not giving you trading advice. Okay, this is all a disclaimer, but I think you should watch it. I'm gonna give you a few more to watch. Okay, and I've been researching these as well. These are ones that I'm adding to my watch list for the month of November, particularly. So I add, there are some that I will add to my watch list, some that I'll take away, some that I'm like, okay, that seems to be not doing anything right now. It's like not moving that much, so I'll take a break. But these are some of the ones. I'll give you some at the end of this video. I'll give you a list of ticker symbols that you should be watching for the month of November, because they're in prime position. And if you apply the invest with Teri method to these ticker symbols, I think you might be banking, y'all. So just check them out. Okay, so I did want to talk to you. I did want to talk to you guys about the downside of this trading strategy that I have. So the downside of vertical credit spreads, in my opinion, when it comes to the emotional aspect, and as you guys know, my channel is all about emotional management. Honestly, stock trading is 80% emotional management. I mean, it's a huge part of trading. So this channel is all about helping you manage your emotions. So I want to tell you the downside of selling vertical credit spreads. So selling puts, selling calls. The downside in terms of emotional is it's emotional roller coaster, in my opinion, a bigger emotional roller coaster, because it feels like somebody has given you money. So it feels like, for instance, let's say you sold, let's say you sold 3 option puts, right? And the credit was $450. This is just an example. Well, when you execute that and that gets executed in the system, whether it's TradeStation or Thinkorswim, that amount gets added to your total. So you'll actually see that amount get added to your total underneath when you look at your balances. Now it's not at the top because it's not the contract hasn't expired yet, but that amount is added, and you can see how much you will end the day with if this goes in a direction. The minimum amount that you will end the day with if this goes in the direction you think it will go in, called max profit. So it's almost like somebody giving you $450, and let's just say something happens and the stock does not go in the direction you think it's going to go in. That money you don't get that money. That money gets taken away. If the contract expires, it just depends at where it expires. It expired above or below the strike price. If it hits any of your strike price, that amount goes away immediately. So that is why you need to make sure that you are doing your technical analysis and that you are applying your stops in these trades. So making sure that you apply your stops where they should be, so that you do not lose more money than you need to, like I did. Like, you do not want to go through a max loss situation. It's ridiculous, and it's ridiculous. Just have your stops in there, know the amount that you are willing to risk, and then get out when that happens. But the emotional roller coaster, in my opinion, with vertical credit spreads is just way more, because somebody gave you it. It's almost like giving you hope as to where you could be, and then it didn't turn out that way. Actually, that's what happened on the day of my max loss. Like I got to my goal balance on the balance thing, but it all got taken away at the end of the day because it didn't go in the direction I thought it was supposed to go in. So you really have to do your technical analysis. Bottom line is, you really have to do your technical analysis on every trade, but definitely an options trade. It's just worth it. So I'm going to end this video by talking to you guys about what I think the stocks that you should add to your watch list, and watch them very closely, because I've been doing a lot of watching. And I think these are the ones that I'm going to be placing large trades in this month at some point. And I haven't decided which one. I usually choose 1 or 2. I'm going to put all of them on. I think I know which one I'm going to start off with, but I'm going to give these to you. So the first one is Activision, ATVI. And I can't give you guys like why, because I feel like I will be sharing with you something that I can't share with you in terms of like learning how to trade and charting. So like that's what Teri teaches. So I'm just going to share with you guys the ticker symbols that you should research. And if you already are in the course, take these ticker symbols and apply Teri's method to see if there's a good place for you to get in. ATVI, Activision, Marriott, which is the ticker symbol is MAR, EWBC, East West Bancorp, Microsoft. I think I am going to go into Microsoft for sure. Vanguard, United Health Group, and Intuit. So those are the ticker symbols that I'm watching. I think for sure I'm going to do Microsoft. And I'm thinking about ATVI Activision, which is like a thing that does like video games. So those are the two that I'm picking out. Like I'm cherry picking because I want to position myself. I know Microsoft has been profitable consistently, and even competing with the other things that are out there like Apple and all these other places. I think they have positioned themselves to do multiple things and still come out profitable. So they show strong, like it's just a strong company. And that's one of the things that I love to watch for is a strong company. Things that I haven't heard from, it's like some random, somebody mentioned something the other day. I'm like, what is that? I ain't never heard of it. I don't know. If I ain't never heard of it and I haven't, it doesn't show me a strong company, like then I don't even touch it. But anyway, so those are my stocks that I'm looking at coming up. Yeah, so that's my favorite trading strategy. These are some of the stocks that I'm adding to my watch list for the month of November, particularly. And we'll see what happens in November. But those are stocks I'm looking at. I'm currently only trading in my sim account right now. Again, I was doing the Tesla trade and I did some SP. I'm trying to date SPX again. So the way that I'm dating SPX is I'm just gonna fake trade, which is sim account trading, to get warmed up again. Me and SPX, we had a volatile relationship. We started off so good. It was in a honeymoon phase. And then like it just did me wrong. And I was like, deuces. And then, but SPS was good to me in the beginning. So I kind of want to go back to that honeymoon phase. I just got to do my due diligence. See, I wasn't putting in the work, right? I was failing, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm dating SPS again. So I've been putting in some simulated SPX, simulated trading. It also gives me a break. Now I don't have to trade all the time, but if I have an itch, I use my simulated trading. And then another thing I want you guys to do, this is your homework. I want you guys to put a certain amount in your simulated account. Okay, it can be whatever amount that you want. And then it can either be the amount that you are realistically going to trade, or it could be amount that you say, I will feel like I have reached a successful goal when I have this amount in my trading account. Write that number down. And then the next thing I want you to write down is, what does this money mean to you? What does it mean to you to have this amount of money in your trading account? And what are you going to do with it? Like, because you can transfer that money to your bank account at any time. So what are you going to do with that money? You have your goal amount in your account. And then the thing I want you to write down is, what does this money mean to me? And what am I going to do with it? Because those two things, you don't believe it or not, are pushing and pulling you in this whole dynamic of this trading world. I told you guys I'm a counselor in training, so I'm almost done. I'm super excited about to start internships. And I cannot tell you that trading is a huge part of emotional management, how emotional management can make or break your journey, and to really be in tune with where you are, what this means, your goals. That's the second part of your homework. You can do this next week, is to write down your financial goals. What are your financial goals? And I might make a whole separate video about this as we plan for 2022, is what are your financial goals? How do you set them? So I might let me know if you guys are interested in this, but I might do a financial planning video. We can do it together, and I can walk you through how to plan financially your trading world. That's something that you should do, because it really does help you know, like, when you've reached your goal for that particular week, month, quarter, year, whatever, and how you can be like, I'm done, or I'm not going to risk anymore. Okay. So I hope this helped. Let me know your thoughts. All right, you guys, have a good one.